Well, hello there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to carry out a workout plan that I call Full Body Free Weights Foundations. Now, this is a plan comprised of 2 circuits that collectively work all the major muscles of the body. You do 2 cycles of the first and then 2 cycles of the second, and then you've worked out everything. Now, you can do this with very minimal equipment. All you need is 3 dumbbells and a mat. All the exercises should be performed slowly, carefully and under control, and you're aiming to do 12 to 15 reps or repetitions of each one. If you find that in the first cycle you can do more than 15, and I would increase the weight you use for the second cycle. If you find you can't do 12 in the first cycle, I would decrease the weight for the second cycle until you found the correct starting weight. Okay, so the first part of the plan works the chest, the abs, the biceps, the deep core, and the lats, which are the muscles on the back. So we'll do that first of all. Okay, let's get ready. Okay, the first exercise we're going to do is called the fly, which is similar to a bench press since it works the pectoral, chest muscles, except unlike in a bench press, you don't bend the elbows, you keep them fixed during the exercise. You're pulling the hands together like that. You'll need the 2 lighter dumbbells for this. If this is the first time you've done this plan, you may want to try using 2 4 kg or 6 kg dumbbells and use the system I mentioned earlier to see if that's too easy or too hard. For the fly, you want to be lying on your back, feet flat on the floor, maintain a slight bend in the lower back, and then have weight in each hand, raise them above the body with a slight bend in the elbow, and then slowly and carefully lower the weights. Ideally your elbows should be touching the ground at the same time. If you can't go that far down, don't worry, just go to a point where you feel the stretch in the pecs. And you perform the move slowly and under control. So once you've done that exercise, we move on to the crunch. Now this is a move that works the abs. My favourite way to do this is keeping the feet on the floor, arms across the chest, and then just taking the torso off the ground like that, briefly pausing at the top, and then lowering to the starting position. And again, do this to failure until you move on to the next move. And the next move is the bicep curl, which is also going to use the 2 smaller weights. The way to do this is have your feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knee, have the elbows locked by the side of the body. This is to stop your arms going out like that. You're trying to keep them fixed in that position. So feet shoulder width apart, palms facing forward, elbows locked to the side of the body, and then again, slowly and under control, bring the weights up to the chest, and then lower them again until the arms are extended. So again, performing the move slowly, under control, and ideally hitting failure around 12 to 15 repetitions. Okay, we're now going to do another exercise for the core. This time it's the deep core. So whereas the crunch works the superficial core muscles, the ab muscles, the plank works the deep core. And this is done by going onto your forearms, keeping the body in a straight line, keeping the upper arms straight so that your weight is evenly distributed, and avoiding raising or lowering the hips. So again, trying to stay as straight as possible, maintain this position until you feel your hips start to sink, and then you're done. So that move is more about hitting failure than about doing a certain number of repetitions, because it's about how long you hold the move for. Okay, and then the final move in this sequence is called a pullover. This is similar to the fly in terms of the starting position. You're going to have your feet flat on the floor, but this time you're going to have 1 weight held in both hands, and instead of going off to the sides, with a slight bend in the elbow, you take the weight behind you, again slowly under control until it touches the floor, and then bring back up to the starting position. You don't need to go any further than that, because it's just gravity doing the work. So lower the weight until it touches the floor, and then back up to the starting position. And then you repeat all those moves again, and as I said earlier, if any of them are too easy or too hard, you simply adjust the weight to make it appropriate so that you can hit the 12 to 15 rep range. And once you've done that, you'll go on to the second circuit. So let's do that. Okay, the second circuit works the shoulder muscles, works the legs, works the triceps, works the obliques, the muscles on the side, and also works the lower back. The first exercise is the shoulder press. Now, similar starting position here to the bicep curl, feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the elbow, then you bring the elbows up like this so that the elbows are just slightly lower than the shoulders, and then bring the weights up and bring the weights down. So you don't want to have your elbows going too low, but you do want to have them slightly lower than the shoulders. So again, slowly under control, bring the weights up and bring the weights down. If you have any shoulder problems, you want to try a hammer grip variation where you hold the weights here. Otherwise, the movement is the same. So that's the shoulder press. The next exercise is the goblet squat. Now this is similar to a front squat or back squat, but you hold the weight by your chest like this, like you're holding a goblet, feet shoulder width apart, and then again, slowly under control, bend down. Now you might want to do this in a mirror just to make sure that your legs are moving in symmetry and they're not bending off to the side. If you can, get the elbows down to the knees before you stand up straight again. Up on the side, you should try to get the knees and the torso at a similar angle, so you're not kind of overextending like that or bending back. So sink down, try to have knees and torso, so shins and torso at the same angle, and then back up again. Okay, so that's the goblet squat. Then going to do a triceps extension. Now we worked the biceps in front of the arm in the first sequence. Now we're going to work triceps in the second one. You can do this standing or on a bench or kneeling. The way this works is, again, as with the bicep curl, try to fix the upper arms by the side of your head so you're not moving the shoulders. You're trying to minimize the movement of the upper arms to ensure all the movement comes from the elbows. You take that down, ideally to around 90 degrees or more, and then bring it back up again. So that is the triceps extension. Now the next exercise is a side bend. You want to be reasonably careful with this to begin with. Start off with a lighter weight. We're going to move in a slightly more limited range of motion than some people do with this exercise. With a weight in one hand, feet shoulder width apart, and then bend away from that weight before returning to the upright position. So again, you'll do this to the point where you can't do any more, then switch sides and do the opposite. So again, be bending away from the weight, turning to a straight position, and then bending away from the weight. Okay, and so there's just one more exercise in the sequence. That's called the Superman. This works at the lower back. This is performed by you lying on your front, your arms and legs extended, and then lift the arms and legs off the floor like that. And the first time you do this, you'll probably go quite to failure. Maybe do 10 and see how you feel. And so that is the end of that sequence. So again, you do that twice, as with the first routine. If any of the moves seem too easy, increase the weight. If any of them seem too difficult, then reduce it. So that was the full body free weight foundation workout. Thanks for watching.